response. You can clearly tell it's a very serious deal.
People living within a 2-block radius were told to evacuate, and those in a 1-mile radius were given shelter-in-place orders.
President Biden and President-elect Donald Trump are expected to meet at the White House tomorrow morning. The White House says the meeting will take place in the Oval Office. Trump spoke by phone with Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris last Wednesday. In an interview with NBC News, Trump described the calls as being respectful. First Lady Jill Biden invited Melania Trump to the White House as well, but sources familiar with her plans say she's not expected to attend. It's tradition for the outgoing president to host the incoming commander-in-chief following the election as a part of a peaceful transfer of power.
Speaking of the White House, Joe, what do you have for us with a political analysis?
Well, 1 week after the election, the Associated Press had battleground states, getting 312 electoral votes to Vice President Harris's 226. He also made some deeper blue states closer than usual, including New York and Illinois. But taking a look at the Senate, the Republican success did not carry down ballot in some states. Democrats, although losing the Senate, held up in states like Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, and Wisconsin, but the Republicans will have a majority of 53 seats. Taking a look at the House, the Associated Press has not called it yet. However, we are pretty close. We are at 214 seats for Republicans to 206 for Democrats. These are just a few of the swing seats that were called. As you can see, Maine's 2nd District still has not been called, but is extremely close and will go to a recount. And taking a look at some more House districts, Republicans will win 5 of the 8 districts that we thought were competitive early into the night. Back to Braylon and Ava.
Donald Trump's lawyers in the Manhattan District's Attorney's Office have agreed to delay activity in the hush money case until November 19th. That will give the president-elect's lawyers time to make new arguments on how his election victory impacts the case. The judge was expected to rule today on whether to overturn the business fraud conviction based on this summer's Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. But instead, both sides agreed to a motion to delay existing deadlines. Trump is seeking to vacate his conviction on 34 counts of falsifying business records. It comes after the Supreme Court determined in June that Trump should receive broad immunity for official acts during his time in office.
The Federal Aviation Administration has grounded all flights to Haiti for a month. This comes after 2 jets from U.S.-based airlines were struck by bullets while flying over Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, amid escalating gang violence. A Spirit Airlines plane was hit by gunfire while attempting to land in Port-au-Prince yesterday. It resulted in what the airlines described as minor injuries to 1 crew member. Later, JetBlue said a post-flight inspection in New York found damage from a bullet on one of the planes returning from Haiti. Haitian authorities have already suspended flights in and out of Port-au-Prince for a week.
Today, the Indianapolis International Airport hosted a naturalization ceremony for 47 individuals who became new U.S. citizens. Individuals who immigrated from 24 countries around the world raised their right hands to take the oath of citizenship. Indianapolis Airport Authority Executive Director Mario Rodriguez said, quote, "Today, we were truly moved in welcoming 47 individuals who have proudly walked the road to citizenship," end quote. Representatives from multiple organizations help the new citizens apply for IDs, register to vote, and more. I'm kind of curious about the weather. It's been a little cold today. Let's see what Joe has for us.
Well, it's certainly a chilly day in Indiana. We are currently at 43 degrees in Indianapolis, 39 in Lafayette, 41 in Terre Haute. There's definitely some cooler temperatures than what we have been experiencing recently, and that will continue as we go into the overnight hours. As you can see, 38 degrees right now, and we're going to slowly decrease as time goes on into the mid-30s as the night goes on. So definitely wear a jacket if you plan on going outside tonight. But I'll be tracking the possibility of frost tonight, rain chances tomorrow, and some mild conditions in my full weather forecast.
Thank you so much, Joe. Coming up, how Thanksgiving may cause less strain on your wallets this year.
And KFC sued a rival brand. Find out the reason why when we come back.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
Inflation-wary consumers may finally get some relief when shopping for this year's Thanksgiving meal. Overall, grocery inflation has eased during the past year, and some centerpieces of the Thanksgiving table will be slightly less expensive.
Karen Kafa is in Washington with the details.
Thanksgiving shoppers will face ups and downs in prices this year, starting with the meal's centerpiece, the turkey. After a few years of price fluctuations, Wells Fargo says fresh turkey prices are largely unchanged this year compared to last, with name brand turkey seeing a 2% decline in price from 2023. Michael Swanson, chief agricultural economist for Wells Fargo, says conditions have improved for turkey farmers as the impact of avian flu has eased.
They got through it mostly, but the good news is feed prices are way down. We've had a couple of really good harvests on corn and soybean meal in this country, so they can actually feed the birds for less.
Stuffing, however, may be a more expensive sell, with name brands up 9% and store brands up 3%, with Wells Fargo citing trailing labor and transportation costs.
It's one of those things where we're still seeing a little bit of inflation mixed in there.
And cranberries saw a bigger crop this year, pushing supply up and name brand prices down.
We see about 2% more cranberries produced this year in the United States, according to the USDA. That always helps. So we're seeing brand prices down 3%.
Acknowledging consumers' post-pandemic inflation fatigue, major retailers like Aldi, Sam's Club, and Target are all offering meal deals for gatherings of 4 to 10 people. A survey from Butterball found that 98% of consumers expect inflation to impact their holiday plans, up from 79% in 2023. Still, more than half of those surveyed didn't plan to make changes to save money.
And if your family prefers pecan pie to pumpkin, that will likely be pricier this year because of Hurricane Helene, part of the storm's estimated $6.46 billion impact on Georgia's agricultural industry.
The chicken wars have ignited again, but this time it's about who gets to call their recipe original. Last week, KFC sued Church's Texas Chicken, alleging trademark violations. KFC said Church's abruptly started using the phrase original recipe in its advertising and promotions, and has ignored letters objecting to the ads. In the disputed promotions, Church's posted photos of its fried chicken deals with the text, "Our original recipe is back." The phrase original recipe has long been part of KFC's branding since the company first trademarked it in 1984. Church's declined to comment, citing active litigation.
The Ball State greenhouse is growing jungle plants and is turning them into food. This is what Trey Lawrence saw while on the scene.
Orchid greenhouse scientists bring adventure to your meals. Reinhard Orchid Greenhouse hosted a Tropics to Table event where they grew exotic food using jungle plants and turned them into consumable foods. Along with eating exotic foods, they shared information about how coffee is made, how certain animals thrive on the same foods we eat, and even a scavenger hunt through their personal greenhouse. This is what Erica Oliver said about the event.
Especially as we saw during the pandemic and during the recession in 2008 and everything, when there are stressors due to illness or supply chains or money or anything like that, our food is impacted. There are times where we do not see things in grocery stores that we expect to see because they're grown in other parts of the world and it can be hard to get them there.
After the event, the students also expressed their information and thoughts about how the greenhouse affected them and the world around them.
Especially with tropical plants, to help adults and kids kind of learn where their food comes from, make sure they know it doesn't just grow in supermarkets.
The one who hosted this event says there will be more upcoming events like this one on December 9th. In Muncie, Trey Lawrence, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information, email the Ball State Greenhouse at alforsater@bsu.edu.
A popular Midwest gas station chain is being rebranded. Come & Go was sold to rival chain Maverick last year. The company said it's now in the process of rebranding all locations to unify its footprint. The gas station chain was founded in Iowa in 1959 and it began operating as Come & Go in 1975. Maverick didn't say how long it will take to complete the rebranding process. The chain has 400 locations across 13 states in the Midwest and the South. The acquisition will make Maverick the 12th largest convenience and gas station chain in the U.S. with around 800 locations.
How much have temperatures decreased over the past 24 hours? Find out after the break.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed, better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead, catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Fire crews are working to contain a wildfire burning along the New York-New Jersey border. The Jennings Creek wildfire turned deadly this weekend, taking the life of a volunteer forest ranger.
It has burned thousands of acres and it's threatened dozens of structures. Leo Waldman and Headed, New Jersey with the latest.
This was not on fire half hour ago.
Thousands of acres near the New York and New Jersey border have been burned by the Jennings Creek wildfire since it sparked last week.
We are asking for people that live on Cliff Road and Greenwood Lake to voluntarily evacuate. People in other areas, be prepared to.
Historic drought conditions are fueling the fire, aided in part by wind and dry air. Chris Frennick with the New Jersey Forest Fire Service says the rugged terrain is also a challenge for the response.
Making access to go fight the fire hard to get equipment in there because some areas is too steep for bulldozers to go to.
Fire crews from New Jersey and New York are working together, attacking the fire from the ground and from the sky, working to contain it and keep it from threatening homes and other structures in the area. Some who live there are being encouraged to leave.
Police knocked on our door like maybe an hour or two ago and just said,
If you guys want to get a bag ready and if you have somewhere to go, maybe you should go.
Frenick says one volunteer firefighter was treated for smoke inhalation over the weekend, and 18-year-old Dariel Vasquez died Saturday while working as a volunteer New York State Forest Ranger. In a GoFundMe page, his family describes him as, quote, a true hero, someone who lived his life with purpose, who put others before himself. In New Jersey, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
It's really sad to hear about the lives lost in the wildfires.
It is, and I hope everyone is doing okay there. But anyways, let's pass it over to Jonah with weather.
Well, we took a step outside today. You probably had to throw on a coat because it was a cold one. It is 43 degrees in Indianapolis, 37 in Kokomo, 41 in Terre Haute. A chilly day across much of Indiana, and pretty much the same story as we zoom in to our hometown temperatures. 41 in Portland, 37 in Hartford City, 40 in Anderson. Much of the same story, those chillier temperatures compared to where we were yesterday. We were 7 degrees cooler in Muncie. Indianapolis was 7 degrees warmer at this time yesterday, and Bloomington a 9-degree decrease from yesterday. So pretty chilly temperatures across the board, and it's going to continue as we go into tonight. 39 degrees right now, and as we go throughout the night, going to dip into those mid-30s as we go, and then by the time we get into the morning, tomorrow will start to rise back up. But expect to see a low of 34 degrees this evening. Winds will be blowing east at 10 to 15 miles per hour, so certainly a little blustery as you go outside if you want to take a walk this evening for some reason in the cold. You're going to want to wear a coat and a hat as you go outside because it is going to be another chilly one. Clouds will be partly cloudy tonight as we go throughout the evening, but those clouds will pick up as we go into tomorrow. But first, we have to take a look at that frost. There is a chance for frost tonight with these cooler temperatures almost at freezing. At 34 degrees, we're going to see a possible chance of that frost. If you're in an if the grass is an unsheltered area, definitely look for that wind to probably knock that frost off. But if the wind does not affect any grass, definitely look for the chance of frost tomorrow morning when you step out the door. And speaking of stepping out the door, tomorrow for your morning walk or morning commute, it's going to be 37 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. And as we go throughout the day, it's going to be 52 degrees by noon and 55 degrees by 5 p.m. So it is going to warm up into the mid-50s throughout the day, but again, certainly cooler temperatures than what we have been seeing in the past couple of weeks. The clouds will pick up as the day goes on. We're going from mostly cloudy to cloudy skies as time goes on, with winds blowing east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Now, taking a look at the radar, as you can see, the clouds are starting to move in right now, and as we go into tomorrow evening, some rain is going to begin to move into our area, giving us hopefully some relief from this drought, which I'll get to in a moment, and then the rain will move out by Thursday evening, and then just leaving us with some lingering clouds. But by the time we get into the weekend, those clouds will make their way out, leaving us with clear skies. Now, like I mentioned, we are in a drought, as our viewing area is currently split pretty evenly in between the severe drought and moderate drought, so any rain we get will be hugely beneficial as we try to get out of this dry streak that October really put us in with very little rain. But taking a look at the 7-day forecast, not much rain after Thursday, 80% chance of rain with 56 degrees, and then the clouds will linger as we go into the weekend, 54 Friday, 56 Saturday, but then as we go into next week, there are slight chances of showers, 20% and 30% will be the theme of next week, but those temperatures will remain pretty steady in the mid-50s, reaching 60, and then the lows will be into the low to mid-40s. So when I took a step outside today, it was just so cold, I didn't know what to do.
I know, I got ready to come here today, and so I put on this coat right here, then I put on another coat, and then when I walked out, I'm like, man, it's still cold. And I walked in the building, it's hot. So I had to step back outside, and it's cold again. Like, come on. The weather needs to make up its mind. What do you think, Ava?
I know, it can't, and it's really bad. This morning, I woke up, I knew that it was going to be cold, but I didn't know it was going to be this cold. So I was, like, layering up on everything. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much, Joe. There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Jake Garcia has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Braylon and Ava. One Cardinals anticipated return to the nest, and we go live from Worthen Arena for an update. All this and more next in sports.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
is it good?
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jake Garcia with sports. Last Friday night, Ball State men's basketball tipped off the home opener in style with a dominant 87-60 win over Franklin College. Leading the flock was center Peyton Sparks with an efficient performance, totaling 17 points and 5 boards, all in just 16 minutes of play. Sparks also made his return to Worthen Arena for the first time this year. Some would call this a homecoming, as this is Sparks' first home game in Worthen since the 2022-23 season. Now back in familiar territory, the IU transfer plans to have a standout senior campaign. Since it's still early, however, the team, along with Sparks, want to take everything in. Sparks expressed how good of a feeling it was to be on the home hardwood and how it was to put on the familiar number 5 once again.
It felt great. It felt good to see the fans there, see my family was good. Just put on a jersey, put the number 5 jersey on. It was great. It was a great feeling.
The team looks to build on their momentum as they travel to face the Dayton Flyers tomorrow at 7 p.m. To keep it in Worthen, Ball State women's volleyball faces off against the Miami Redhawks as the Cards look to keep their 8-game win streak alive. NewsLink Indiana's Jace Miller is live outside Worthen Arena with more. Jace, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Jake. The Cardinals took down the Miami Redhawks in the Redbird rivalry right here in Worthen Arena tonight. But the red hot team coming out of it were those Ball State Cardinals. 9th win in a row. Now that's 8 wins where they've swept. That's 3 straight sets, and that's what they did here tonight. They won 25-16 in the first, 25-20 in the second, and 25-19 in the third set. And it was a block party here tonight. 13 total blocks for the Cardinals, led by Ayunde Smith with 4.5 blocks. She even had the game-sealing block there in the third set to win it. On the offensive side of the net, 47 total kills for the Cardinals in the front row here tonight, led by Madison Buckley, Carson Tyler, and Anaya Kennedy with 10 kills each. Let's look back in the back row now at the libero. Sophie Ledbetter, she took home the MAC Defensive Player of the Week, announced yesterday, where she averaged 5.67 digs per set and 34 total digs, and she continued with that here tonight, had 10 digs and 3 assists. Now, as you guys can see here, Cardinals, they're already tucked away in the nest, ready for their last couple regular season matchups here against Western Michigan on Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 5 p.m. I'm Jace Miller, Worthen Arena, NewsLink, Indiana. Back to you, Jake.
Thank you, Jace. To bump it to the gridiron, Ball State football is back in Maction tonight for their second game of Maction. After a narrow 6-point loss to rivals Miami of Ohio a week ago in the first game of Maction, the Cardinals now travel to take on the Buffalo Bulls in a rematch of the 2020 MAC Championship. Tonight's game marks the first time since 2016 that Ball State will travel to upstate New York for a game at Buffalo. A win tonight means that Ball State would reach 500 again in conference play and keep their bowl game hopes alive. The score currently stands with the Cardinals ahead 28-24 with just under 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Now we know about getting our coats on this chilly day, but in Buffalo it's definitely very chilly, and on the field they do not have colt coats. So they're going to be looking to stay warm as they're going to try to hold on to this 4-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just hope they're hot out there, hot, cold. I hate it. I hate it a lot.
Yeah, I know, and I bet those players are probably definitely cold too, so yeah.
Thank you, Jake. Coming up, your campus coverage checked in on the Asian Student Union. See how students are using the union to share their stories.
And one final look at your weather next.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Cameron No, and this is your campus coverage. Last night, the Asian Student Union held an event that was based on the experience of growing up Asian. Students gathered to talk about their stories of being a minority. This group of Ball State students were able to freely express their emotions and experiences with others who could relate. Most of these students craved culture when they began college, and SAU gave them an outlet that they were searching for.
One of only 4 Indians, and out of that, only 15 Asians in my entire high school. And I felt like there was really a need for other Asians and other Indians to really find out the fact that, yes, there are others like us who felt through the same things, who have been through the American school system, that understand what it's like to be lost in a sea of other people that look nothing like you.
To find out when ASU holds its events, go to their Instagram at Ball State ASU. I think it's super cool that Ball State has a lot of diverse clubs on campus.
I love that I can come to a school and just see just a group of diverse people. It's a great feeling.
I have to agree with you guys on that, but now let's take it over to Joe again for weather.
Well, taking a look at the 7-day forecast, the rain is going to move in on Thursday, 8% chance of rain with a high of 56 degrees, but that rain will move out, leaving us with lingering clouds for much of the week ahead. Temperatures will remain steady in the mid-50s and 60s for much of the week, but rain chances will return next week, however slight they may be, with those lows in the mid to upper 40s as we go into next week, and again, just some cloud cover throughout the week.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page and YouTube channel.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.